Content warning. This video contains graphic bodycam footage of an officer-involved shooting. This content is age-restricted to viewers 18 and older. The footage is presented for serious educational analysis and public interest. Strong viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, I'm hostname. September 3rd, 2024, Los Angeles. Second time this guy vandalized someone's car. But this time, he brought what looked like a gun. Here's what happened. Brian Rodriguez, 33 years old, throws a weight through a windshield. When officers arrive, he points what appears to be a handgun at them, twice. The chase ends with shots fired. But here's the twist you won't believe. In this video, we'll break down California's use of force law, the legal standard from Graham v. Garner, and whether this shooting was justified. Watch closely at the 5-minute mark. That's the critical moment. We'll also cover what happens when imitation firearms meet real bullets. This is a case study in split-second decisions. Let's get into it.
Yeah, hi. Somebody just vandalized my car. They threw a weight in my front windshield in front of my house. I know who it is.
Did you see the person that vandalized your vehicle?
Yeah, my girlfriend saw.
Your girlfriend saw the suspect?
Yeah, we have a camera too. So.
Okay, one second. So the question is if you guys saw the person that did this.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and how long ago did this happen?
About 2-3 minutes ago.
2-3 minutes ago. And what's the address of this vandalism, sir?
50 South Estrella Avenue.
50 Estrella?
Yeah, Estrella Avenue. And this is the second time he's done this.
And your name? Your telephone number?
310.
The suspect, a male or female?
The male.
White, black, Hispanic, Asian?
Hispanic. His name is Brian Rodriguez.
Do we know how old Brian is?
Yeah, I know where he's at right now.
No, do we know how old he is?
He's 33.
Do you know what color shirt and pants he's wearing?
What color shirt pants he's wearing? He's wearing like a sweater, like a blue sweater or something. Blue shirt or something like that.
Okay, you say he threw a brick at your front windshield?
No, yeah, a windshield. I did put a weight.
A weight?
A weight.
Threw a weight through the PRS windshield.
Yeah,
okay, you weren't in the car, so you're not injured. Don't need an ambulance. Is that correct?
No.
Okay, and then you know where he's at?
What? Excuse me?
You know where he is at?
Yeah, I know where he's at. This is the second time he vandalizes my car.
Any weapons involved, sir?
I don't see him wearing many weapons. He usually has knives with him.
So he's known to carry knives?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll finish creating my call, Mr. Wait there for the police to come in and assist you, okay?
Yeah, please.
772, your violence suspect there now is now an ADV suspect there now 5 Estrella, suspect pointing a .22 caliber handgun into PRS code 3 and 2338 RD 1230.
Alright, pause here. Notice what officers know before they even arrive. This is the second time Rodriguez vandalized this victim's car. That's a pattern. He's known to carry knives. And now dispatch is saying he pointed a .22 caliber handgun at someone. So officers are rolling up on a repeat offender who just escalated to a deadly weapon. Under California Penal Code, Section 835, officers can use reasonable force to arrest. But here's what matters. What would a reasonable officer believe in this moment? They're dealing with an armed suspect who's already shown violence. That's the lens we need to watch this through. Pay attention to what happens next. This information shapes every decision they make.
9.
The suspect was identified as Brian Rodriguez. Upon arrival to the location, the officers saw Rodriguez standing in the street. As the officers requested the assistance of additional patrol units, Rodriguez threw a rock toward the officers' police vehicle and ran away. The officers followed Rodriguez in their police vehicle. As they neared the intersection of Estrella Avenue and 59th Street, Rodriguez stopped, turned toward the officers, and pointed a handgun-shaped object in their direction. Rodriguez then ran away once again as officers continued following in their vehicle. Rodriguez continued running away and eventually entered a driveway of an apartment building in the 5900 block of Gonzalo Avenue. As he ran toward the rear of the apartment building, the officers got out of their vehicle and gave Rodriguez verbal commands to drop what they believed to be a handgun. Rodriguez ran behind the apartment building, momentarily re-emerged facing the officers, and once again pointed the handgun-shaped object at them, resulting in an officer-involved shooting.
Watch this moment right here. At 4:28 on the bodycam timer, Rodriguez stops, turns toward officers and points what they believe is a handgun directly at them. This is the critical moment that changes everything legally. Here's why this matters. Under Graham v. Garner, the Supreme Court case from 1989, we judge an officer's use of force from their perspective in that moment, not from our couch, with perfect hindsight. What did officers see? A man who vandalized property was reported with a gun, just threw a rock at their car, and is now pointing what looks exactly like a firearm at them. California Penal Code 835A requires officers to use only reasonable force. But reasonable is based on what they knew then, not what we learn later. Would a reasonable officer believe this was a deadly threat? Absolutely. Keep watching. He does this again.
I see him. He's over there. All right. Put it out. Put it out. Let me get a backup 415 man with the gun.
12 out of 5. Can I get a backup 415 with man with a gun?
He's going to take off. Heads up. Heads up. Say, he's running southbound. But he's running southbound to Estrella.
Southbound?
He's running southbound to Estrella.
He's running southbound to Estrella?
He's got a gun. He's got a gun. Heads up. Get it. Heads up. Say he's running out. Heads up, partner.
Yes, sir.
All right. Heads up. Put it down.
Put it down!
Put it down. Hey, we're on Gonzalo. Put it out. And 5'8", he's got a gun in his hand. Heads up, partner. Heads up.
5'8",
He's southbound, Gonzalo 5'9".
Gonzalo 5'8", he has gun.
Yeah, we're southbound Gonzalo. He's got his gun in his hand. We're southbound Gonzalo from 5'9". Damn, heads up. He's running to the back of 5'9".
He's running to the back of fun.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun in his hand.
Hey, put the gun down! Officer detail, truck fired. I got it. Heads up.
Yes, sir.
Trophy 5'1", officer detail, truck fired. Damn it. You okay?
Yes, sir. You good?
Trophy 5'1", officer detail, shot fired. All those suspects to the rear. Wearing a blue shirt. He's armed with the handgun. You good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, get on the ground!
Get on the ground!
Get the fuck on the ground! Get the fuck on the ground! Don't move!
Officer needs help. 5 Avenue. 5.
Do not move!
Hey, Master,
Don't move!
Master,
Don't move! Put your arms out to your side! Put your arms out to your side! Put your arms out to the side! Don't move! Face away from me!
Okay, stop. Shots just fired. Let's break down what just happened legally and tactically. Graham v. Garner gives us three main factors courts look at. Factor 1. Severity of the crime. Rodriguez just committed assault with a deadly weapon on police officers. That's a violent felony. Factor 2. Does the suspect pose an immediate threat? Watch again. He pointed what officers reasonably believed was a firearm at them twice. That's an imminent deadly threat. Factor 3. Is he actively resisting or trying to flee? He's running, won't drop the weapon, keeps pointing it. All three Graham factors support the use of deadly force here. Now here's a critical legal point. Tennessee v. Garner says you can use deadly force to stop a fleeing felon if he poses a significant threat of death or serious injury to officers or others. Rodriguez meets that standard. Notice also, officers gave verbal commands. Put the gun down, you heard it multiple times. They tried de-escalation while maintaining cover. This is textbook reasonable force under California law. Here's a twist. It wasn't a real gun. Polymer stun gun. Looks exactly like a handgun from any distance. And here's what's crucial. That doesn't change anything legally. California Penal Code section 417.4 makes it illegal to brandish an imitation firearm in public. Why? Because it creates the exact same threat. Officers can't run a serial number check in the middle of a gunfight. Rodriguez pointed what any reasonable person would believe was a lethal weapon. The legal standard isn't, was it actually dangerous? The standard is, would a reasonable officer believe it was dangerous in that moment? This is why imitation guns get people killed. To the officer on the street, there's zero difference between this stun gun and a real Glock until after the smoke clears. Rodriguez was charged with assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, brandishing an imitation firearm, resisting arrest, vandalism, and battery. He wasn't struck by gunfire. Incredibly lucky outcome for everyone involved. Alright, let's recap the timeline. Phase 1 911 call comes in at 11 a.m. Rodriguez vandalized the car, second time doing this. Victim says he's known to carry knives. Dispatch upgrades. A suspect now has a .22 caliber handgun. Phase 2 officers arrive spot Rodriguez. He immediately throws a rock at their patrol car and runs. At the Australia Avenue intersection, he stops, turns, and points what looks like a handgun at officers. Phase 3. Chase continues to Gonzalo Avenue. Rodriguez runs behind an apartment building, emerges again, points the object a second time. Officers fire. Rodriguez goes down, complies, arrested without injury. Total time from first contact to custody under 3 minutes. That's how fast these situations escalate. Legal assessment. This shooting appears justified under both California law and federal standards. California Penal Code 835A requires reasonable force. Graham versus Garner gives us a test. Would a reasonable officer believe deadly force was necessary? Yes. Rodriguez pointed what appeared to be a firearm at officers, twice refused commands, and created an imminent deadly threat. Tennessee v. Garner allows deadly force against a fleeing felon who poses significant danger. Rodriguez meets every element. This case will likely survive legal scrutiny. The fact that it turned out to be a stun gun doesn't matter. Reasonable belief is based on what officers knew then, not what we learned later. Tactically, what worked? Officers called for backup immediately when they saw an armed suspect. They gave verbal commands multiple times. They used their vehicle for cover during the initial contact. What could have been better? Once Rodriguez ran behind the building, that's a fatal funnel situation. Ideally, you'd want to contain and wait for more units rather than pursuing into an enclosed space. But with an armed suspect who just pointed a gun at you, that's a tough call. Overall, tactical grade B+. They made reasonable decisions under pressure with incomplete information. Nobody died. That's a win. Lesson 1. If you're ever confronted by police, especially if they think you're armed, here's what you need to know. Imitation guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, even your cell phone in the wrong light, they can all get you killed. Not because officers are trigger happy, because they have to make a decision in half a second that you get to judge for 6 months. Drop it. Show your hands. Follow commands immediately. I don't care if you think you're right. I don't care if they're wrong. I don't care about your pride. You cannot win a gunfight with police. You cannot outrun radios. And you definitely cannot argue your case from a morgue. Rodriguez is lucky to be alive. Don't be stupid with fake guns. Lesson 2. The bigger principle here is about perception versus reality. What something looks like matters more than what it actually is when decisions are made in seconds. This applies way beyond policing. A cell phone in your hand at night looks like a gun. A wallet coming out of your pocket too fast could be a weapon. A shiny object in a waistband. Officers have been killed by hesitating in those exact scenarios. Here's the lesson. Context and perception drive decisions when time is collapsed. The truth comes out later in investigations. But in the moment, what it appears to be is what people react to. Rodriguez's stun gun appeared to be a firearm. That appearance created a deadly force situation. Reality caught up after the fact. This is why training emphasizes threat recognition, but also why mistakes happen even with perfect training. Lesson 3, the reality check. You have rights. Absolutely. Fourth Amendment, due process, all of it. But you also have a right to go home alive. Those two things, sometimes they're in tension. The courtroom is where you fight about whether the stop was legal, whether the search was justified, whether your rights were violated. The street is not a courtroom. The street is where you survive. Rodriguez had choices. He could have dropped the stun gun the first time officers saw him. He could have complied instead of running. He could have not pointed it at police. Each choice escalated the situation. I'm not saying officers are always right. I'm saying being legally right while dead doesn't help you. Smart beats right when bullets are involved. Know your rights, yes, but also know when to exercise them and when to just survive the encounter and fight later with a lawyer. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. So bottom line, officers faced a split-second decision with a suspect who pointed what they reasonably believed was a firearm at them twice. Under Graham versus Garner and California law, the shooting appears justified. The stun gun reveal doesn't change the legal analysis. It reinforces why imitation weapons are so dangerous. What do you think about this case? Was this reasonable force, or should officers have done something different? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I learn from your perspectives. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more bodycam analysis like this. We break down the law, the tactics, and the real lessons every week. Coming up next, we've got another officer-involved shooting with a very different outcome. Until then, stay safe out there, know your rights, and make smart decisions. Peace.